Well, a very good afternoon to you, everyone. This is Natalie Ashdown from Open Door Coaching. Welcome to our Coaching Cafe, where today's topic is why leaders need to ask for help. Before I begin, let me do the acknowledgement of country. We acknowledge the traditional owners and the custodians on the lands on which we meet today and their continuing connection to the land, waters, and communities of Australia. We pay our respects to them and to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders who might be on the line today. Well, a very big welcome to you all. For those of you that have been tracking our coaching cafes over the last few months, I used to have my professional photo here, and now this is me in full Zoom mode with flip charts and everything behind me, lots of color, and it's all good fun. So today we're talking about asking for help and why leaders in particular need to ask for help. And I'm quite excited to be back with you all. We had a break for Mental Health First Aid Week. Feel free to pick up those webinars. They are on our website and they are absolutely fantastic. And we also then had a break because in Victoria, we had the AFL Grand Final. So who doesn't like a public holiday for any excuse in the world? Shout out to all the Victorians, including myself. We are running around like free range chickens now going, we're free, after we had a big lifting of restrictions. So I just want to send a shout out to everyone in Victoria who, so many people have been actually doing it quite tough. Really tough, actually. And I think everyone felt a big sense of relief, like just that bit of relief that some of the restrictions were over. And then, of course, shout out to everyone around Australia and internationally as you're listening to this cafe as well. It's great to have you all joining me on the line. So today we're thinking about, well, why is asking for help such a foreign concept? And what are the benefits of asking for help? And of course, it's a coaching cafe. We will look at taking a coaching approach to the work that we're actually doing. So if you are new to the Coaching Cafes, welcome. We are all about creating a community. We come together every Friday live at this time. And welcome to everyone who is actually listening to this, not live, but you might be listening to or catching up on the program at some other time. So welcome to you all. Thanks for spending the next half hour with me and everybody on the line. And we are really about creating a shared learning experience and having thought-provoking conversations that extend our coaching and extend our coaching practice. There is a lot of experienced coaches on the line. I just love coming together because I like the idea that I can offer you some ideas, and of course everybody jumps in with their experience and knowledge and wisdom and ideas as well. So if you would like to interact today, please do. The best way to do that is to pop a message into the chat box and I can pick up your messages, I can pick up your coaching questions, and we can share those as well. And of course, if you are collecting your ICF CCEs, you're collecting your continuing coach education development hours, then yes, these coaching cafes are offered free of charge. And you simply need to send us a message at support@opendoorcoaching.com.au and we can send you through a certificate. You do have to stay on the line for the full 30 minutes though. Alrighty, well, let's talk about why asking for help is such a foreign concept. And it was really interesting because I actually got ready for this coaching cafe about 3 weeks ago because we had that 2 weeks break. And back then, about 2 weeks ago, in the executive coaching that I was doing, a big theme was coming up. Amongst the clients that I was coaching, that the leaders that I was coaching, they needed to ask for help. They were definitely trying to solve the problems all by themselves. And one of the questions I simply asked was, I wonder how your team might be able to help you. So how might your team be able to help you solve this problem? And for two people in particular, I really noticed the kind of look on their face like, oh, my team, like, oh. And they kind of paused, do they kind of screwed up face look and paused and went, oh, my team. So they really actually hadn't thought about putting the message out to the team to actually solve the problem. They were doing it all themselves. And that was very interesting to me. And that's what kicked off the thought, well, we need to dig into this as a group, as a community of practice and look at what's happening here. Interestingly, in the last 2 weeks and in the last week, it's funny how the themes that you decide to go after then start to pop up in your personal life or professional life as a coach. So I found myself sitting in front of a screen the other night going, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. I don't know where I'm going with this. I was looking down the barrel of a major deadline on my doctoral work, a document that I had to complete for my doctorate. And I just received some comments and feedback, and I was almost like a burst into tears kind of moment. I'm like, I thought I was done, and I don't know what to do. And I just thought to myself, who can help me? Who can I reach out to that might be able to help me? So I sent out a message to a professor in the UK that was an expert in this area. I booked a meeting with him, and together he helped me solve the problem. So I just thought, wow, just that was a need for me to actually reach out to help for help and go, I can't solve this problem myself. Who can I call upon? And that's a fantastic coaching question that we can use for ourselves, and we can also use with the clients and colleagues and people in the workplace that we're actually coaching. And, just in our general conversations as well. But jump into the chat box. Tell me why you think that, particularly with leaders, why is asking for help such a foreign concept? Let me get your ideas. I just brainstormed a few, but I'd be really keen to hear your ideas. Used to doing it all themselves. Thank you, Sonia. Yeah, absolutely. So that is very interesting, isn't it? Because people that are in managerial roles, for example, they step into leadership roles and they are used to being the doers. They are used to doing it all themselves. When I mean, they're in a leadership role when they are in management, aren't they? But they're used to being the doers, and now they need to actually spread the load. Thanks, Sonia. Leonie says, saving face, feeling that you need to know everything. I agree with you. I'm expected to have all the answers. That's right. Sonia says, don't want to lose control. Uh, the way that you want to do it. Yes. Yes. So I don't ask for help because I don't want to lose control. I've got my way of doing it. I'm going to do it my way. Lynn says, afraid of looking weak. Yes, I definitely agree with you there. Amanda says, some like to see themselves as the experts. Yeah, so I'm expected to have all the answers. I'm expected to be the expert. I actually coached a client 3 weeks ago on that exact topic, Amanda. He said, I don't know what to do because I'm expected to have the answers. So we had to work through that. Thank you. I should be able to work this out for myself. This was what was going on for me as well. I'm expected to do this, and I should be able to work this out for myself. But I was literally staring at this screen going, like, there's a part of me going, you can do this. You can do this. And the other part of me is going, I don't think I can. So, yeah. Sonia says they think they can't delegate as others are too busy. Yes, that is a good one. That is a classic one, and I hear that heaps. So leaders and managers often act as shields to their teams from what's coming down from above. So they shield their team from what's coming down from above. They don't like to delegate down because the team is already flat out. So that means I take it on myself. Yep, absolutely. Should be able to do it myself. Imposter syndrome kicks in as well. I might be found lacking. So, what if they find out that I'm not as smart? What if they find out that I'm not such an expert, that I'm not quite as good as everybody thinks I am? What if they find out that I've got vulnerabilities? What if they find out that I might doubt myself every now and again? So the imposter syndrome can kick in, and there's been a couple of conversations I've had recently about imposter syndrome. What has happened in the coaching is quite interesting, actually. The person that I'm thinking of just kind of said it casually. Oh yeah, well, there's always imposter syndrome that kicks in, and then they carried on, and and that's a good example of how. Hang on a second. Let's just. Do you mind if I ask you a bit more about that, or what's happening? Or I noticed that you mentioned imposter syndrome. Is that something you'd like to talk about? So they kind of stepped over it. I went, hang on a second. Let's just double check this. Lynn says afraid of looking weak. Yep, we picked that one up. Thank you. That's great as well. And the other one I noticed also is I don't want to bother people. This was going on for me as well. I knew I needed help. I had to reach out. I needed help, but I didn't want to bother people. Like they're probably busy. Like they're busy. When it comes to asking for help with the team, it's like uh, I know they've got a lot on, and for me, it's like I haven't really thought about things properly. So I don't know exactly what I'm asking for help for. So my easy pathway there is just to say that, I don't know what I'm asking for help for, but I know I need help, blah, 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 blah. And then in jump my team of problem solvers, which is wonderful, isn't it, to have that support. So it is a bit of a foreign concept. We have to get up and over that wall, as the ladder there shows. So we do need to build a ladder, I think, for some leaders, and we need to build a ladder sometimes for ourselves as well, and say, actually, yes, I would. And I think the other thing we do need to do is say yes. If people actually offer us help, say yes, rather than, no, I'm good, I'm all fine. So it's really lovely. Every time I'm stuck, someone says, "Can I help?" I'm conscious of saying yes, and finding a way that they might be able to help me, even if it's seemingly insignificant. It all contributes, doesn't it? Yes, Amanda, a very good comment there. She says some people caught up in the system that rewards knowledge. Yeah, so it rewards knowledge, it rewards expertise. I have to keep the faith. I've got to make sure that everybody thinks I'm an expert, and I can't allow that not to be the case. Yeah, definitely. And the other thing is, I don't know who to ask as well. That kicks in, doesn't it? So there's lots of benefits now. So we've talked about some of those benefits already, haven't we? But when it comes to coaching, us coaching our colleagues, us coaching subordinates in the workplace, or us coaching employees in the workplace, us coaching people around us, and of course, coaching ourselves, lots of benefits. I like this little saying. I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but a problem shared is a problem solved. Now, I don't mean here that a problem dumped on somebody else is a problem solved, because that happens, Throwing a monkey on somebody else's back gets rid of the monkey on my back. So, what we're talking about here is if I do actually share the problem, if I put it out there, if I say it out aloud, then sharing that problem often is what actually solves the problem. And we see that a lot in coaching, don't we? We see that where actually just me talking it out with a coach, with you as my coach, makes a massive difference. And I start to solve the problem as I go. Quite often I find, and you can tell me what you think, that sometimes the problems that seem insurmountable, like there's that brick wall there, just talking it out makes a massive difference, and I can solve it. That's where the benefit of coaching kicks in. Tell me the other benefits that you're thinking about as well. New ideas. This is the thing that I love the best, is that if I can ask for help, I can get a new idea. When I was working on my paper, there was a diagram that I couldn't make work. There was a missing piece in the diagram, and it was a stumbling block. I knew what I wanted to say, but I couldn't articulate it in the diagram. And my supervisor, my professor, said to me, he said, delete the diagram. If the diagram's getting in your way, you know what you want to say. The diagram is your stumbling block here. Just get rid of it. And I went, oh my goodness, I had never thought of doing that. And then I kind of processed the idea, and in a flash, it was gone, and everything then opened up. So it's things like that. It's getting that new idea, that new perspective that you hadn't seen before. When we are leaders and we are asking for help, it engages the team, gives them a sense of ownership, gives them a sense of togetherness, and our team are engaged. They want to help. So, whenever we do ask for help, it actually creates that engagement. Speed and efficiency. So, I could have struggled forever trying to solve that problem. I could have struggled for days and weeks and hours for a long time in what I call my world of pain, my world of academic pain. It's it's speed and it's efficiency. Me booking that meeting, a half-hour conversation, boom, it was done. I could have spent hours stumbling around and trying to solve that problem. So there's some real benefits in actually sharing the problem. There's some real benefits in asking for help. And I think one of the things for me is that you just get that problem solved so much quicker as well. Other thoughts you're thinking about? Alrighty, well, let's roll our coaching questions. So let's get them going together. This is the part I always love about our coaching cafe, particularly when we're doing a work where we can generate new coaching questions together. So let's brainstorm them together, put into the chat box. I'll pick them up as we go along. Any coaching questions that you might ask, any coaching questions you might ask that encourages a leader to ask for help. What are you thinking about at this stage? What are the resources you can call upon? I love this question. Resources are not just people, but they might be internal strengths. They might, for example, resilience or call on your creativity. They might be things like I can call upon articles, or I can call upon some software or some apps or something like that. So they're not just people, they can be things and objects around us as well. Great question. Thanks, Sonia. Yeah, just throw them into the chat box. There's no wrong or right here. And there's heaps of great coaches on the line. So you can see I'm asking for help. I'm not going to do all the heavy duty lifting on the here. I'll get you to do some of this coaching as well. So Sonia says, if you had no financial limitations, what might you do? Excellent question. So that's an excellent question because it's actually removing the barrier. So if financial limitations is the barrier, then if you didn't have that barrier, what could you do? So you can use that question quite flexibly. Thank you. Amanda says, how will it benefit the organisation for you to seek for help? Oh, I like that. How will it benefit the organisation for you to seek help? Great question. So we can think about how will it benefit you as an individual? How might it benefit the team? How might it benefit the business unit? And then chunking up, as Amanda has there, how might it benefit the organisation for you to seek help? What a great question. Other questions you've got there, throw them into the chat box. As I mentioned, it's not just about skills, but who has the strengths. So when I'm thinking about solving the problem and asking for help, I'm thinking not just who has the skills or the expertise, but who has the strengths? Who has strengths in this area of help that I need? Remembering that when we define strengths in a certificate in workplace and business coaching program, our accredited coach training program, it's about strengths are about what energizes you the most in the workplace. So what energizes you? So who has the skills, but who would be energized to solve this problem as well? Lovely. Just checking the chat box as we go. What help do I need? Oh, so it jumped around there. But yes, I would definitely find out what help do I need. So when you think about it, is what is the actual help that I need? What do I actually need to ask for? Sometimes just getting that clear is a really good step forward. What help do I need? And then who can I call upon to get it? Think about our tools that we have in the Cert 4 program as well. Start, stop, more of and less of. So when it comes to asking for help, what do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? What do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? So you can roll that model in this area as well. Fantastic. Let me pause for a little bit, see if you've got some other questions coming up. I know some of you don't have access to the chat box, so I'll try to channel your great questions that you're thinking. If we think about the barriers, I like to turn the barriers into questions as well. So Amanda said some people like to see them ourselves as experts. So a great question there is, who else is an expert in this area that I can call upon? And I love that question. Who else is an expert that I can call upon? Amanda says some people are caught up in a system that rewards knowledge. So rather than thinking about the systems rewarding knowledge, it's like, well, who else might get a reward, or who else might I call upon within the system that might have this knowledge? Lynn said, afraid of looking weak. So if we were to reframe that, so instead of I'm not doing this because I'm afraid of looking weak, the reframe on that might be, well, how does this actually make me look stronger? Or how does this actually make me endear me to the team? How could expressing this vulnerability actually look like strength rather than weakness? So there, it's interesting to try that reframe on that as well. Thanks, Leonie. She says, what could you gain by asking for help? Yeah, so rather than thinking that something's going to be taken away from you, what might you gain? Great. Sonia says the people are used to doing it all for themselves. So, the question is, well, rather than doing it all for yourself, who else can you call upon? What would be the benefit of doing that? So you can really roll those questions. You can take the obstacle and the barrier and turn that into the coaching question as well. Oh, that's a really powerful question. Thank you, Amanda. When you think about that obstacle, you think about the wall. If we're thinking about building a personal ladder to get over the wall, great question. What can you let go of that gets in the way of you asking for help? That is a great question. So, what can you let go of, or what do you need to let go of that's getting in the way of you asking for help? And I'm not sure about you, but the first thing I came up with was ego, having to have all the answers, solve it myself. I should be able to do this. So, yeah, just get that ego out of the way, and then we're more able to ask for help. And I think the other one is get out of the way that worry, the worry that you're going to be annoying someone or getting in their way or something like that as well. Yeah. Fantastic. So, as leaders, it's so important that we do this, that we are role modeling this. One of the other benefits, of course, if we are role modeling asking for help, that means that our teams will do the same thing. There's so many times I've actually coached leaders where they say to me, I just wish they had have asked for help. I just wish they had have come to me earlier. If they had come to me earlier, we wouldn't have found ourselves in this position. It's like the tape recorder that just plays over and over. So that makes me reflect on, well, if that's the behavior that I want from my team, come to me earlier so we can work through this, seek help earlier, then what am I doing as a leader to make that okay? It's a really lovely reflection as well. Alrighty. So just a little heads up that we have a leader as coach program coming. So I know there's a lot of accredited coaches on the line, but if you have managers or leaders who really want to dig into coaching, want to refresh their coaching skills, want to top up their coaching skills, the Leader as Coach is a 2-day program. It's an excellent program. We really love running it. We do lots of practice and really focus on performance. So high performance coaching in the workplace, which is great. And of course, a lot of people have tapped into our mental health first aid program. It might be that we, as coaches, as leaders and managers in the workplace, we are offering our coaching, but there might be an opportunity to offer a further support role if we identify that a person might be suffering from a mental health illness or a problem, or we need to check in on them. So I love the mental health first aid course because it does actually give us a model to use. It gives us a set of questions. It gives us an approach that we can use that actually make those mental health first aid conversations easier if we need to. And of course, with COVID, it's been a huge topic that we need to really focus on. We had to focus on this before COVID, didn't we? But with working from home and everything, it's made it even more important. Well, it's terrific to have you join me on the line. Any other thoughts or questions or comments you want to throw out there about asking for help? So the one thing I would offer you to take away is whenever I deliver a coaching cafe, it's always for a reason. So if you've come on the coaching cafe today for a reason, maybe it's that you need to ask for help for something. Maybe you're coaching clients or colleagues or managers in the workplace that would benefit for asking for help. So the question that we leave you with is, where do I need to ask for help? If I was to ask for help in this area, what benefit would that have? How would that nudge me forward? How would that give me momentum? How would that help me move forward on the actual task or whatever it is I'm working on? What I have found is that when you ask for help in this context, people say yes. People are really willing to help. We're not the kind of people who just we're not dumping things. We're not just dumping monkeys on people's backs. I think we are all genuine people that when we do ask for help, people will actually respond if they can. And as I mentioned, that means that we are actually role modeling the kind of behaviors that we'd like to see in the workplace as well. And we're using our great coaching questions to do that. So there you go. Sonia, lovely comment. Yeah, we should. So let's just catch the comments as we go. What could you gain? Lynn says, what could you gain by asking for help? That's, sorry, Leonie, yeah, what could you gain by asking for help? That's a lovely question. Amanda says, what can you let go of? We got that one. Lynn says, we should do it more often. Asking for help, I mean. Yes, I think that was a big takeaway from me. Do it more, do it quickly. Like, don't just sit there. Do it quickly because people will help, will jump in. Sonia Dia says, I think this will help me approach my manager and define some of our responsibilities. They tend to get involved in everything and then they become overwhelmed. That is true. Lynn says, people do when you do ask, people often surprise you. So I love that as well. You were just sort of throw it out there and see what they can help me with, and then great things actually happen. So it well and truly exceeds your expectations. Absolutely, I agree. I love that idea that people will surprise you. It's really true, exceeding your expectations in that regards. And we would never find that if we didn't ask for help in the first place. So, as leaders, as managers, as coaches, yeah, something we can definitely role model. Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. I will enjoy catching up with you at our next coaching cafe. In the meantime, enjoy your coaching. Hit up those programs for yourself or for people that you might know. And as always, I want to say enjoy your coaching and I look forward to catching up with you at our next cafe. I'll say goodbye for now.